So today we are going to see about the array, and then we can see about the what is Pojo class, which is very important topic. And from here we can, if we have time, we will see collections also. Okay, so these are all the three major topics we are going to cover in today's session. And in case if you are having any queries or something in between, you can just post your queries also. Okay, fine. So I enabled you to chat here, as well as if you want to ask your questions, you can ask your questions without any hesitation. Okay, and yes, so you can use chat if you want to ask your questions in the chat, or in the audio also, this is fine. Otherwise you want to ask questions in the group, that is also fine. Okay, so back to this thing. Okay, so first of all, what is array? So array is nothing but when you want to store multiple value, then we need a array actually here. Okay, so one second guys, let me check whether I am recording. Yeah, so whenever you want to store multiple value in a variable, then we need a array actually here. Okay, so for example, previously we know whenever you want to store any value to a particular variable, then we need to use normal variable only, correct? So for example, this and all variable that we were using, so this variable will store only one value. What if I want to store multiple values? Okay, so that is where this array concept will come into the picture. So here let me create a one simple package, which is array sample. So okay, so in this one I am going to create a simple class called array actually here. So first array. Okay, so inside this one I am going to mention one main function actually here. Okay, so okay, so in the main function I can declare the array. Okay, how I can able to declare the array? So generally if you want to define the variable, we will mention integer, mobile number, something we will mention, correct? But when it comes to array is always declared with a square bracket. In most of the programming languages we used to mention like this only. So here also we are doing the same. So square bracket equal to, here you need to use curly braces. Between the curly braces you can define the value. So for example, I am giving some random mobile number as integer. I mentioned this data type of the array is integer, so it's very important that we should use integer only, which means only numbers we can provide. We cannot provide other than integer. So I can provide some other number. So like this I can provide n number of data to this array. So this is how we can able to declare the array in Java. So I have a 1 2 3, so yes, totally 4 items I am having in my array. Okay, so this is how the array can be declared in Java. So I am just adding a notes here. So array is for storing multiple values. Okay, this is one scenario. Next scenario is it can be declared with square bracket. Okay, so and values defined by curly braces. Okay, so this is what the example actually here. Now this is defining the array. How I can able to access it? Because whenever you want to define the access the value of variable, we can directly use it. For example, previously whenever I am having a variable mobile number, I can directly print it sys.out.println, it will just print the value. But now if I want to print this value, this is an array, correct? This is not direct variable. So how can I able to use this one? So in the array concept we have one concept called position. Okay, so position means each value in the array will be defined in the index. For example, this is 0th index, this is first index, second, third, like this it will go on. This is called an array actually here. Maybe I will show you one simple example. Okay, so if you see here, this is commonly mostly all the programming languages will do the same thing. So don't consider as an C++. Okay, this will be the same concept will be available in the Java also. As you can see here, they are storing the value 2 4 8 16 18. These are all the green color boxes is the actual value. So below it you can see the position like 0 1 2 3 4 5, which is nothing but the position. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 4 5 is the position of each array, and the 2 4 8 12 16 18 is the value of each array actually here. Okay, so now here if I want to access the 12, what I need to do, I need to use this position number 3, it will give me the value of 12. If I use position number 5, it will give me the value of 18. So in this example, if you can able to apply this concept in our array, you can see this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, so now let me use this out here. Okay, so here I am going to mention mobile, which is array variable, square bracket, I need to mention 1. So what it will print, it will print this number. Okay, so if I run the program, you will easily understand. You can see clear. So this number is getting printed here actually here. So how it prints, because my array has 4 elements, this value is stored in the first element. Okay, so back to this same concept, if I go to this here and if I mention like 3, then what will happen, actually the position starts from 0, so 0 1 2 3, so this will print this 6 7 some random number, it will get print. Okay, can you able to see this output? So this is how it works actually here. This is called array. Okay, so array means you can able to store multiple value. Okay, so now if I want to add more values, so it cannot be possible in array. Once we define the array, we have to manually change the value. Okay, runtime we cannot able to update the value. We can say in runtime we cannot add new value. Runtime means whenever the program is running, you cannot able to add a new value to the array. This is one disadvantage of array in the Java. So this is one more thing, one important point in the interview. So whenever the array is declared, it cannot have a new value during the runtime. Okay, so one more thing, and cannot increase the size also, size of the array. Okay, so for example, as of now our array has only around 4 elements, right? So these 4 elements will be always the size of this array. We cannot able to increase into 5 or 6 or something. Okay, this is the length of the array, so this is fixed. This is one disadvantage of the array actually here. Okay, so yes guys, so any doubts regarding this array in Java? Okay, so with this concept we can define multiple things also. For example, if I want to define a string array, so string array equal to like this, so this is also possible. Okay, I will mention name list equal to this. So here I can define string. Actually I can say test test1 some random number and some random number, like this we can able to define the array. So this is called string array. Okay, string array. So above one is called integer array. So like this you can define other variables also, like decimal, float, double and boolean. Like this you can define n number of array. So if you want to access those value, then we need to do the same thing, name list of 0, name list of 1 2 3, like this we can able to access it. So for example, if I want to access this name list, so one second, so name list of we can say 0. So what it means is, now we are telling to access this value from the array, so it just gives the value of this actually here. So if I run this one, you can see the test is coming. Why the test is coming? Because we clearly mentioned that this name list of 0 has to come from the 0th position actually here. Okay, yes, I hope you guys understood this concept, right? So this is, I can say, access the value from the 0th position. And we can say access the value from 3rd position. Okay, so this is what the concept actually here. So yes, any other doubts here? If you are okay, can you put thumbs up guys, or if you want to ask questions, you can ask your questions, as the chat is enabled for everyone, so you can use the chat, as well as if you want to ask your doubts in the audio, you can ask. Okay, thank you all. So now the next scenario is iteration. Okay, so now I want to read all the values. So for this we have a loops in Java. So let's see the loops one by one. So I will go with the updated feature of Java. I don't want to go with the for loop actually. So which means I can say mobile dot for each. Okay. Oh, that is in. Okay, so I don't want to take this one. Okay, let me go with the for actually. So for let Java is coming to my head. Okay, so integer. I can say I call then mobile. Okay, so here I think income. Sorry, this will come. Okay, as I'm working in JavaScript, no, the syntax came in this. It will get mixed actually here. Okay, fine. So now here I need to use sysout and I need to mention the I. So this I will give you the value of the array actually here. Okay, so let me run the program. You will understand. This will give you all the values of the array. Can you see this one, right? So this will give you all the value from the array. So as I'm using mobile number, it's array variable name, and the reason why I'm using integer is because the data type of the array is integer, so I need to mention integer, and the I is your wish. You can mention whatever the value that you want. So that's it. This is how you need to access the value. In case if you want to use this one, so what I can do here, for here, so in the for you can mention string n colon string, you can have anything, and I will mention name list. Okay, so open curly brace, close curly brace, sysout. In the sysout I will mention n. So what it means is I am telling to get all the value from the array and print it here. So if you run the program, you will see all the values of the second string array, it will get printed properly in the array. Okay, so that's it. This is how you need to print the value from the array in our JavaScript actually here. Yes, so any other queries guys? Is it okay? So this is how you need to use the array, and this for loop whatever we are using for the array, it is very helpful, as well as we will use frequently this concept. So I hope you guys understood this one. So shall we go for next one, or anyone wants me to repeat this concept? Okay, so the main disadvantage of this array is in Java we cannot have a multiple, we cannot increase the size actually here. So for example, as I mentioned, initially declared with 5 values means it can be declared only with the value. If I want to increase the size, it cannot be done. And one more thing, in case if I give the index which is beyond the length, for example here I am having around 1 2 3 4. Okay, if I am giving 10th index means it will throw the error. So that is also one scenario. Let me show you now. So just copy this one, and I am mentioning as 10th. So 10th index actually here, but as of now in the string array I am having around 2 3 4, up to 4 I am having, correct? So if I am mentioning a 10 means it will throw the error. It's not just it will ignore, it throws the error. If I run the program, you can see this is called index out of bound exception. This is one of the important interview question for beginner. So which is called index out of bound exception. Index out of bound exception means whenever the array you are trying to access the array which is beyond the length, then it will throw the error. So I am having only around 5 element, but if I want to access the 10th index, it will throw the error, which is called array index out of bound exception. Okay, so this is also we need to consider. So this is also one more important concept in interview, so which is called array index out of bound exception. Yes. So any other queries here? So you guys are fine, right? I hope. So as we know, I just used only integer string, but still if you want to use like long or double or boolean or any other data type, still it can be possible, the same syntax. In case if you want to use double, then you can mention double here, your variable name, square bracket equal to curly braces, then you can mention the double value. Okay, so depends on the data type of the array, you can define the value. In case if your value is not matching the data type, it will throw the error. For example, in the line number 10 I mentioned it has to store the string actually. Okay, so instead of string, if I mention like integer, it has to throw the error because this is the string array which will accept only the string. I cannot able to provide the number actually. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this concept. So next we will see the main concept called uh, Pojo class actually. Okay, so some people might aware of this thing, but I will tell you Pojo stands for plain object Java object, which we will use frequently in the programming. So this concept is available in other languages with a different name. In Java it's called as a Pojo class actually here. Okay, what is this plain object Java object? From that name itself you will understood. So plain object Java object means it will not have anything. It's just a simple class which helps you to share the value between the packages or wherever you want to share the value, we can able to
Pass the array in function, sir.
okay. So in case if you want to pass an array, let me show you. For example, here I am having an function, so void message like this. Okay, so in case if you want to pass an array, I want to pass this string array, then what you need to do, you need to mention the same variable. You can mention it once again. That's it. So now whenever you are calling the method, you can just pass the value. Maybe I'm just using this for loop inside this method to print the value. Our name list. So name list. Okay, so now whenever I'm going to call this method, I once again. So first I need to create an object, right? So first array, because it is a external method. So first array f equal to new first array. Okay, so here I can mention f dot message and name list. Name list is the local array. This is also array, as you can see here, which is this one, which is string array. So now this array will be received in this place actually. So the way how you are defining the variable, right, the same way you can define the array also. That's it. Is it okay?
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, others, anybody wants to ask any questions regarding this array? Okay, so I think this questions is asked in most of the places, like when you want to, how we can able to pass the array. So the way how you are passing the variable, right, the same way you can able to pass the array also. Okay, only thing is you need to use this curly brace. Generally normal variable we don't need to use curly braces. When it comes to array, we have to use this curly braces, which mention this is an array. And one more thing, from whenever you want to pass the value, this also should be an array. In case if you want to pass dynamic value, that is also possible actually here. Okay, so yes, this is how you have to pass the array to the method. Yes, any other queries? Okay, so next concept is plain object Java object. Okay, so what is this plain object Java object? So this concept we will use in the Spring Boot also. So try to understand this concept, which is very important for advanced Java level programming. So it is very easy only, but this concept looks very easy, does not mean that we will use only beginning stage. This concept will be available in the advanced programming. In all of the updated versions of Java, we will use this frequently. So this, I have one class called a person. Okay, as you can see here, I'm just having a simple class person. Now this person, I'm going to declare a variable called, inside this class I will mention like integer id, some random number you can mention, and I'm going to define one more variable called string name. That's it. So this person has two variable, which is called id and then name, integer id, and then the data type of name is string actually. Okay, so now whenever I want to define the value for this id and the name, then I need to use one method called setter methods. Again, what I'm telling is, whenever I want to set any value to the variable, then I should not access directly this variables. Okay, so I have to go with a method called setter method. Generally it is called as a setter methods. So setter method means you can understand to set the value for the variable. So what it means is to set the value for the variable. Okay, so here what I am doing is I will mention, if you want you can define it. For example, uh, public void set id. Okay, so for the id variable, if I want to create a setter method, it will be called as a set and then variable name. Okay, so in my case set id and then open bracket close bracket open curly brace close curly brace. Here you need to mention, to set the value I am mentioning integer id, then here I will mention this dot id, okay, equal to id. So what is the meaning of this dot id? Means this representation of global variable, this id representation of local variable. Okay, so now whatever the value that I am passing to this method, this will apply to this variable. This is called setter method. Okay, so with this same concept, shall I able to create a setter method for the name? So what I can do, I have to create public the same void method for the name. The setter method is set name. Okay, so open bracket close bracket this dot name equal to, here you have to mention the same name actually here. Okay, so mention name and it can be called as a name, and it is very important that you should mention the data type. This is called setter method. Okay, is it understandable? So that's it. We should not write anything other than this code in this class. This is in the Pojo class, we have to write only variable, then it has setter method. That's it. Okay, okay, any doubts regarding this one, the Pojo class? Okay, so now I have set the method, but if I want to get the value, then for that also we have a getter methods. So we can say getter methods. Getter methods means what we need to do, we need to mention public, I want to get the value of this one. So what I need to do, I need to mention integer get id. So you can see here set id to set the value, get id to get the value. So to get the value, we don't want to receive anything, just to return this dot, sorry, this dot id. That's it. This will return the value. So whatever the value you set in the line number 10, that will be returned in the line number 20. This is called getter methods. Getter method means to get the value of the variable. We can say this one. I think this is spelling mistake. Okay, so getter method means to get the value for the variable. Okay, any doubts? So this concept is little important. It looks easy, I hope so. You may feel like what is the use of this one? This concept is whenever you want to share the data between one class to another class or one layer to another layer, this we will use frequently. Specifically in the Spring Boot applications, we will use this concept frequently. So for example, you consider you want to create a registration form, or just consider login form. In the login form, generally in all the applications we used to have a email and password, right? Then what will happen? We have to create a class called a login, and that class will have a two variable called email and password. Then for that variable you will have a setter method. So whenever you are passing the value, that will be automatically set by the Spring Boot application to the variable by setter methods. Using the getter method, we can able to get the value. Okay, so now you understood setter method, getter method. I will tell you the another shortcut to create the getter and setter. So let me remove everything. Okay, so okay, maybe I will use the comments. Okay, so yes, I keep the comments for your understanding. Okay, so now I just created a class, and inside the class I have a variable. Okay, so now I want to create a getter method and setter method. So how can you able to do this one is right click, generate. Can you see the generate method? So again right click, right click on the variable, select all the variable, and then right click, generate. You can see getter setter. If you want to create a getter, you can select it. If you want to create a setter, you can select it. Or if you want to create a both, just select. You can see it will ask you to select. So do like this. You can select by clicking the shift key, or you can use control A. Better use control A na? Yeah, just use control A. So it will select everything. Then click OK. You can see everything is created. Can you see this one, right? So you don't need to manually create this one. So you can just select the variable and right click. There is an option called generate. So you can see whether you want to need a getter or setter or both. Select the both, and it will do everything for you. So the same scenario only, correct? So whatever I did, the get name, set name, get id and set id. Okay, is it understandable now? Any doubts regarding this Pojo class? Apart from this, it will not have anything. Okay, just a variable, and the variable will have, each variable will have a two methods. Okay, fine. So now how we can able to use this class? So anyone wants me to repeat actually here? So it's not that much complicated, but it may looks new for you. So is it like new term that you are seeing here, that Pojo class? So is most of the freshers are feeling the same thing. Okay, so but it looks very easy only, but it's very important. Let me show you where we can use this concept, this Pojo class. Where I have created this one. Okay, so I am creating one class called Pojo use. Okay, some random class actually. So in this one I will just mention the main. Okay, so main method as usual. Now inside the main method, generally how we can able to access the class, we will mention the class name, right, which is person. So I will mention the object as person 1 equal to new person. Okay, so this is how we created an object for the person class, correct? So now I want to set the value. What I can do, I will mention person1 dot set id 1, person1 dot set name. I will mention some random value. Okay, so this is how you need to set the value. This is one of the very important concept, which means I created a object for the person class and I set the value. In case if I want to add one more person, this is one person. Okay, so maybe I will mention like what I can mention, Vignesh. So if I want to create a one more person, then what I need to do, I will create a one more object. We can say person 2. Okay, so this person 2 is belongs to which person? Let me find from the chat. One second, guys. So Deepasri. Okay, so I will use this Deepasri here. Okay, so what it means is we are telling, oh sorry, id also 2. So now the person 2 id is number 2, and the name is Deepasri actually here. Okay, so for the person 1 we are mentioning id is 1 and name is Vignesh. For the person 2 I am creating a different object. It is very important that we should create a different object. We should not use the same object. If you are using the same object, means the value will get override. So we are telling the person 2, the id is 2, and then the name is this one actually here. Okay, so now I want to get the value. So as you can see here, I am setting the value using setter methods. I want to get the value. Then what I need to use? Getter method. So I am going to use from the first object. I will mention first object, which is person1 dot get id. Then what will happen? This will print the id of the first person. What is the id of the first person? It is 1 actually here, correct? So if you run the program, you will understand that 1 is getting printed. Okay, so with the same example, now I am trying to print the second person's name. So what is the second person object? Person 2. So I will mention person 2 here, and I want to print his name. So what I need to mention? Get name. So yes, so I will use print ln. Actually I need to change my snippet. If I run the program, you will see my Deepastri, which is nothing but the person to object is Deepastri. So her name is getting printed actually here. So is it understandable? So this concept I am using in the same class. So for example, here I am setting the value, below I am getting the value. But in the real time programming, what we will do, we will set the value, we will pass this object to wherever I want to pass it. Then from there I can able to access the value actually here. Okay. So is it understandable, this Pojo class? So this concept is little important. That's what I am just taking much time to explain this concept, because this we will use frequently in the Spring Boot applications. So yeah, thank you Vignesh. Okay, yeah, any other person? Yeah, into thank you Valarasu, thank you Monopriya. Okay, thank you all whoever said. Okay, fine. So now we will go to the next concept actually, which is nothing but collections. Okay, the very major topic in Java, which is called collections. So whenever you are going for the interview, not just an fresher, even if the experienced people going for the interview or the freshers is going for the interview, 50% of the questions will come under the category of collections. Okay, so remaining 50% questions comes from the this whoops and dbms, all these things, threads and all these things. But most of the 50% of the questions will come from the collections. So mostly if you can able to clear the collections, they will accept you actually here. Okay, so yes, so yes, let me go on to this one. So go to the collections. Okay, what is these collections actually? First I will tell you, give the introduction, and we will go on. So as we all know, the disadvantage of the array in Java, right, which means whenever I want to increase the size of the array, that is not possible in Java, that we saw already. There's a lot of example there in the internet, but I am just giving a simple example of this one. So here I am having an integer array, string array. In case if I want to add some more value, I will clearly mention that in the runtime we cannot able to add another value to my array. Okay, so in that case what we can do, that is where Java came up with the idea called collections. Okay, so what is the meaning of the collection is, we can able to do whatever doing with the array. In the array whatever we are doing, everything can be do in the collections. And one more thing, we can able to have, like if you want to add the value, that is also possible. So we can do whatever we are doing with the array, but whatever this disadvantage of array can be here possible, which means I can able to add the value, I can able to manipulate the value, I can able to sort the value, or data manipulation. All these things can be possible with the simple scenarios in the collections. Okay, so let's see one by one. So the collections can be majorly categorized into three major category. Other than that, two more categories also there, but as the time consuming, I am just showing only the three category. Initially we thought of doing with only two, then okay, let's go for three. So I am just taking the three major category. Okay, so list, set, map. So list is nothing but it is like a array only, so there is no much difference. But the advantage of the list is we can able to add the value dynamically. Okay, in the array we cannot do that, right? But in the list we can able to dynamically add the value. Maybe I will add a comment here. So works like array. Okay, okay, works like a array, but we'll add a new element. Okay, so here it can be possible, we can able to add the new element, but in the array as we all know we cannot able to add the new element. Now coming to the set. So in all the programming languages, you know, set means unique. So it may be Python or Java, sorry, JavaScript, I think. Then other programming languages, I don't know whether C++, but in Python I saw set is there, and in JavaScript also it is there. The same available in Java also. So set means it is unique value. It is a unique value, and it will not allow duplicate. That's it. This is the one line that you need to remember. So set is like a unique, it will expect unique values, so it will not allow the duplicates. In case if you are trying to insert the value one more time, it will not throw any error and it will not accept that value also. Okay, so fine. Next one is map. So this map is also available in other programming languages, so which is nothing but it is key and value. So we need to provide the key as well as and value. So this is what map actually here. So need to provide key and value. That's what the concept actually here. Okay, yes. So any other queries here? This is called the three major concepts of the collections. So this is list, set, map. Now we will see list. If we have time, we will see other things also. Okay, so let's go for IntelliJ. Okay, I am creating a new package because all these things you can just refer it. So under the source directory, I am creating a one package which is called collections. Enter. Okay, I should not use this word because it is reserved word. So collection sample. Okay, so whenever we are creating a class name or package name, we should not use any keyword actually. So keyword means it is like a some reserved word in Java. So okay, so first class I am going to create a list sample. Okay, fine. So now I am, as usual, I am going to create a main method. Okay, so how to create a list in the Java? So first we need to mention the list. So whenever we are mentioning a list, it is called as a generic classes. Okay, generic classes means from that name itself we will understand. Generic means it will not have its own data type. Okay, for example, integer means it accepts integer, a double means it's accepts double. So when there is a class called generic class, we have to provide the data type, which means this is called angular bracket. Angular bracket is nothing but less than symbol and greater than symbol. So between this angular bracket, we need to mention what type of data that you are going to store. So here I need to mention integer. So here we need to mention like this only. So integer. Okay, so this is how you need to define the list, or we can say collections. So your list, angular bracket, then your data type that you want to store, equal to your object, the same thing, list obj equal to array list. Okay, so maybe for your understanding I will use this itself. Okay, so array list, angular bracket, that I want to store integer, so I mentioned the integer here, object new array list, that's it. Okay, so this is how I need to create the list actually here. Okay, so now I want to add the value, then what I need to do, I need to mention list object dot add. I want to mention the this is value, so this will be in the 0th index, correct? So in the array, I hope you guys remember, right? 0th index. So here also it is the same concept. So if I want to mention one more value, first index. Okay, so fine. In case if I want to add one more value, then it will also be added here, which is nothing but some random value. Okay, so this would be in the second index. That is what the concept of this list actually here. Okay, so list means we can say it will dynamically add the value. So but we need to mention the data type, what type of data that you want to store. Let me create a string array. So what I can able to do, so copy paste. Okay, so copy paste here, I need to mention string, and I need to create a new object. I can say list str. Okay, and I will mention list str object dot add. I will mention some random string. Okay, list str object dot add. I will mention some random string. So as you people know, this is 0th index. Oh my god, this is first index. Is it understandable? That's it. So this is how it works actually here. So you can able to add a number of value at any time, wherever you want. You can able to add the value to this array actually here. Okay, yes. So any other queries here? Okay, so you guys are understood this concept. Okay, so now with this same one, thank you Tinto. So the same one, I can mention this out here. Sorry. Okay, so if I want to get the value, so we set the value for list, but if I want to get the value, this is again like a array only. Okay, so what I need to mention, object which is list object dot get, then I need to mention the index value. So if I mention as 1, then the list object is here. In the first index I will have a 43. So if you run the program, you can easily understand my 43 is getting printed here. Okay, because I am having the thing. In case if I try to access the 5th index, then I will get an error, which is the error is index out of bound exception. So if I run the program, you can clearly see I am getting error, right? So the error is index out of bound exception. Okay, Vignesh, you were asking, okay, how to access? Yeah, this is how you need to access actually here. So access from the index actually here. This is error actually. Okay, yes. So is any other queries regarding this? Like this only you can able to access it. In case if you are trying to access which is not available, it will throw the error as this index is not at all available actually. Yes. So I hope you guys are understood all these concepts. This array list actually here, and came to the for loop, the as usual. So whatever we are using the array for loop, right? The same thing here also you can use. So for the data type is integer int I colon list object. The same thing only here we can use. So nothing, whatever we are using in the array, the same you can use. Now this I will give you all the value from the which is from the list. In case as this Mohanapriya asked, can we use for loop, traditional for loop? Yes, we can able to use it here. So if you want to use your traditional for loop integer start equal to 0, start less than your list object dot length, I think length or size. Okay, so in list we need to use size to get the total length, and then start plus plus. Okay, so this is also fine, but mostly people prefer to use this one. In rare scenario, some requirement we need to solve that only with this solution, then we can go for that, but mostly preferably we can go for the first one, which is easy to read actually. Okay, so and this one, so here I will mention, so oh my god. Okay, so yes, I will mention what is it, list object dot get start. Okay, so like this you can either one of the loop will be fine actually here. Okay, okay, so you can go for this for loop or you can go for this for loop. Both the loops are fine for you actually here. Okay, yes, any queries here guys? Everything is fine, right? Okay, so with the same concept, okay, thank you all, thank you. Okay, with the same concept I can go for set also. So what I am doing is I will just copy paste, just copy the entire file, paste the file. I will call this as a set. Okay, fine. So set means, as I told you, it will not accept the duplicate. So let me change this array list into a set. So you can see we can say hash it. Okay, so I will just hash it. Here also I will mention hash it. Okay, so and I will mention the same thing, maybe I will mention h object. So h object, h object, h object. With these things I will remove it. Okay, so the same meaning it will come here also. Now if I use this for loop for int I colon h object, open curly brace, close curly brace, sys out I actually here. So if I run the program, you can clearly see the output of which is 34343. Okay, one second, I put print ln for your understanding. So run, you can see 34, 42, 43 actually here. That's it. Okay, so this is how it just works actually here. Okay, so you understood, right? Now as I told you, what will happen if I put the duplicate number? So I am trying to add the 34 one more time. Okay, this is not needed. So if I run the program, you can clearly see the 34 will not be available because set will not allow for the duplicate. It will not throw any error also. Okay, so will not allow the duplicate. Okay, and okay, I think it's enough. Will not allow duplicate. It just ignores the value. Okay, this is what the concept of this scenario actually here. Yes, any other queries here? This again BGM. You understood na set concept? So whenever I'm just giving an another value one more time, it just throws the error. Okay, so shall we go for map also? So list, this is the one. You can add n number of values, duplicate value, whatever it may be. It works. Only advantage is we can able to add a multiple. You can add a value in runtime. Set means the same thing, everything is apply. Only point is it will not allow the duplicate. Okay, it ignores the just value. In case if you are trying to add the value, it just throws the error. Sorry, it just ignores the value. Now the last one is map. So for the map, I'm just copy paste, but it looks something different actually. So map sample. Okay, so for the map, I'm going to use the class called hash map. Okay, so hash map. Okay, so as I told you, map means we need to provide the key and value. So key and value means in the list means we are telling 0th index, first index, second index, correct? But when it comes to map, that is not the case. We need to tell the position. So in the map, we need to mention the position. So that is called the map actually here. So we need to map the position. So here what I am telling is integer is the key, value is string. So what I am telling is the position is going to be the integer, value is going to be the string. Now whenever I want to store the value, I need to mention which integer. So for example, list object dot put method. Yeah, so put first value is position that I want to store, which I am giving 1 actually. Okay, you can provide whatever you want. I will mention first. Okay, so and the next one is I will mention 5. It will not throw any error. You can just give whatever you want. So I will mention some random value. That's it. This is called key and value. Okay, so which is key and value. So key can be anything, value can be anything. Whenever we are setting the value, we should match the data type. Let me create another hash map. I can say string is the key. Okay, and double is the value. Then what it will expect, I will mention like m2 obj. Okay, so this is another object. So let me put like this. So m2 obj dot set, put this string is the key actually here, correct? So what I need to mention, string I will mention like first is the key, the value is double, so double means it is whole number, sorry, decimal number. Okay, so some, let me create one more time. So I will mention like second, here I will mention double, double is nothing but random value, that's it. Okay, so this is called hash map. So this is the three major category which is very important in Java. So first one is list, set, map. List means you know, set also you know. Now the third one is map. Map means key and value. So we need to tell the position and we need to tell the value. Okay, now the last one is how can I able to access the value? I can use for loop. So if I want to access this value of this hash map means string is the data type of the value, correct? So the same concept, string colon, sorry, you need to mention the object colon your variable name, sorry, hash map object dot values. Here alone we need to mention like this. Previously we didn't mention, but hash map means we need to mention this values for the for loop. And this hash map we cannot use traditional for loop, only this for loop we can able to use. The for loop which we were using, this one, right? This for loop will not be available for the map because map is based on the key, so custom key. So this traditional for loop will not be available, only this loop will be available. Okay, so let me add a sys out here, and here I am adding a yes. So s is nothing but the value of the map. If I run the program, you will see my value which is in the map will come. So I have a two value in the map, so it is coming here. Okay, so this is called list, set, map of Java. So this is very important concept. This concept we will use frequently in the applications. Yes, so any other queries guys here?